Mike Hernandez was a bueno vaquero, rode some good horses, California style. I watched him for hours and he showed me a little of the old California he knew for a while. Started young horses in Bosali Fiador, onto the Touraine, the old Spanish Spain. Brought them along with two hands that were gentle, some fine reining horses as ever were made. And he'd spin that pony hanging.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Weekly Roundup. Boy, what a start. We're already at 15 viewers tuning in. This is the Grace Christian School Weekly Roundup, and I'm Sheriff P. And here's the place to come if you want to get all the information about Grace Christian School, what's happened in the past, what's going on in the future, and what's going on today. Welcome to all of you. Boy, we are already getting comments. Debbie, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, I'd like to remind you, if this is your first time tuning into to our channel, please subscribe. It gives you the opportunity to know when we're going live, when the latest updates are coming. Sandy from Texas, good morning. Good to see you. We are so glad you are tuning in. Two of our faithful always here. It's good to see you. So like I was saying, if I can get you to subscribe to the channel, that's great. It really helps our standing. And the other big thing is thumbs up. Give us thumbs up if you're a subscriber or if you're just viewing. It lets us know and it gets you into positive reinforcement, especially for things like our talent show and the other programs that we put up. Those thumbs ups really lets us know that you're engaged and you're watching the show. That starting picture was from January, and that was Jack, Emmylou, and Abilene, and they were with Duke and Doc in Idaho at Christmas time. A really cool picture, and they sent that in to roundup@gcsrr.org, and we had the opportunity to put that on. Good morning, Tara. Good morning. Love your shirt. Yes, the Sheriff P shirt. It's on this side. Yes, thank you very much. Normally, it's kind of blocked out like here with the camera view, but thank you. The office staff has those, and we proudly wear those normally on Wednesday, but it is Thursday because we had some great things happening here on campus yesterday that we're going to go over here in the Weekly Roundup. Well, guess what? Race for Grace is coming, and it's right around the corner. It's on Friday, March 11th, and there's tons of amazing things that are going to be happening. We're going to start the day out with donuts for parents. Parents, I'm going to have donuts out there, coffee, have a chance to fellowship and visit with you. I just want to remind you that these donuts are for you as parents. Please do me a solid. Don't cut the donut in half and say, well, I'm the parent, I'm going to give my child half the donut, because there are other kids who can't have donuts, and it's a rule that we've set, and their parents may not be here to be able to give them a donut. So these are for your enjoyment, to be able to fellowship and socialize with each other. And it's something that we do at every Race for Grace, and I just ask that you respect that and eat as many donuts as you can. I get them from Sonny's Donuts, and they are simply fresh and simply amazing. Also, Carl's Jr., we're giving free Carl's Jr. to all of our participants, all of our students who are running, and those forms were due on Tuesday of this week. So at this point, it's too late to turn them in. We had to turn our numbers into Carl's already and be able to get that done. Let's see what Debbie has to say. Perfect. My kids can run and I'll eat the carbs. Yes, that's about it. So, and I got to tell you, you just cannot stop at one with those donuts. They are very tasty. But Carl's Jr. will be here that day, and that is for our participants only. If you'd like to bring a lunch or something with you, that would be great. You can sit with your child and eat, or if you're not here, your children will be sitting with their classroom teacher and eating. At this point, it's too late to turn in the Carl's Jr. flyers. We had to get those numbers into Carl's right away so that they're able to prepare and be ready for us on March 11th. So if your child's here, send them with the sack lunch if you didn't fill out the Carl's thing. If a child's here without a sack lunch, we will make sure we get them a Crustable PB&J sandwich. We don't want them to go hungry. Another very important thing about Race for Grace Day is after the race and all the festivities, school lets out at 11:45. So school lets out at 11:45. If your child is still here after 11:45, they will just get signed into daycare. There will be no charges as traditional until after 3:30 when normal pickup, 3:15, excuse me, when normal pickup would have occurred. So that's important to know. We are getting so close to hitting our goal for Race for Grace of $55,000. Let's see. Sandy, who has been to so many Race for Graces, she usually brings her delectable goodies and everything. It says, so sad I won't be able to attend Race for Grace with goodies. Yes, Sandy, you make the most outstanding cupcakes and cookies that I've ever had, and that will be greatly missed. But just so that you know, we're not having any vendors this year at Race for Grace. It's just a great family day to come out and run. So we are so close to hitting our goal of $55,000. Right now, as of this morning, 84% of our families are participating. What I mean by participating is they've gone on and they've registered their child and sent out emails. That's the registration number. So 84%, that's pretty darn good. I have to say, if we could get to 90, I know we would blow the goal of 55,000 out. And what does that goal of $55,000 mean? That means I will be bringing, I was going to say one of my horses, but I will be bringing Tex to school that day and riding him around on campus. We'll be getting some pictures with some of the students and put some footage up here on the Weekly Roundup so you can actually see Tex. And Tex looks pretty much like that picture right there. His mane is a little bit longer, and I've been talking to him about it, and he really wants to come to school for Race for Grace. So just a few more of you send those emails out. The other 15% that haven't, if just 5% of you send those emails out and we pick up a few donations, I know that we will exceed the $55,000 goal. I have every confidence in the world. I'm already shining up my saddle to get Tex ready. So that happens on March 11th is Race for Grace, and I look forward to seeing all of you there. Last Friday night was the talent show. And you know, I think this is the last time we're going to call it the talent show. I think we're going to call it the Grace Christian School Variety Show because it really is a variety show. It was so enjoyable. We ordered pizza, made some popcorn, and it's turned into a family event at my home. We sit down and I tell you what, we get some of the greatest laughs from it, from the different comedy acts, and we have so many talented people, and even our staff members. Here's they reprised their role from the prior year, Miss Cinco, Miss Santos, Mrs. Santos, Mr. T, and Miss H. So the talent show, if you missed it, I highly encourage you to watch it. We showed it live on this channel. We've had over 700 people watch the talent show so far, which is going to be the Grace Christian School Variety Show next year. We're looking at some different ways of doing it next year. We truly believe this is the way that we need to do it. People sending in clips because talent happens so many different ways. The snowboarding, the playing the bands at home, the dancing, writing things. It's such a terrific event. We're just trying to look at a way to produce it. Debbie says it was so funny, and Sandy says the talent show was so enjoyable. I agree with both of you. So what we're trying to think is, do we continue to premiere it in the medium that we're doing where people get to watch it at home? Or do we set up our big blow-up projector and we bring all our families together and everybody can kind of like have a picnic and a big fun time out on the grass and we watch it together? So that is something we're contemplating back and forth. I know not everyone can make it out, and we would have to be a little bit later. It would basically depend on the time change. If we're able to do it before the time change, then we can do it a little bit earlier. Those summer movies got to be kind of tough. We were almost starting the movies like at 8:30, 8:45 in order to have it dark enough for our screens. So talent show was a huge success. To every family who participated, thank you. Moms, dads, grandmas, and grandpas, I know that you were the ones facilitating the filming and getting everything in. It was a great evening. I truly enjoyed watching all of our students and many of your talented families do it. Let's see, Yvonne says yes to both. That could be a great possibility. And there's no reason we couldn't do that. Wow, That's a great idea. We could be showing it here and it could be premiering on YouTube at the same time. Wow. We could be watching the premiere here while it shows. That is a spectacular idea. Great job, Yvonne. I think that might be the winning ticket. Who knows? I'll talk to staff about it, and we'll see which way it goes. How do they say? Run it up the flagpole, and we'll see who salutes. Open house. You know what? Miss Cinco, one of our first grade teachers, her mom tunes in quite a bit on here, and her dad, and they're very supportive of the school. And I told you this was going to be on Cinco de Mayo. They coined it Cinco de Mayo. So Cinco de Mayo open house is going to be a great day. Debbie agrees with that, and Miss Lamb says, and if the kids are, they can stand up and take a quick bow. Absolutely, the kids can. Excuse me for just 1 second here. I gotta rub my eye. Something got in there. So yeah, we can have the kids there, but Cinco de Mayo is open house. And I told you we're having the deal of the century. We are having the Taco Man out. And taco forms are going home. It's $2. I don't know where you're going to find a $2 plate that looks like that, where you're going to get 2 tacos, you're going to get beans, you're going to get rice, and you're going to get a bottle of water and have a wonderful meal. If tacos aren't your thing, you can bring a sack lunch. But the one big thing about that is, since we're going to be trying to provide tacos for everybody, and even our new families coming on, we are going to ask, whoops, I'm going all the way back to open house. We are going to ask that this form gets filled out. It's going to be going home very shortly. It will also be emailed to you. You'll need to pay in advance and get that sent in. It's a family of 5, $10 to eat out. I don't know where you can do that. If you drive a big truck or excursion, it'll cost you more than $10 in gas to go to Taco Bell to eat with the prices these days. But open house is a wonderful time. It's a great evening of fellowship. It's an opportunity for you to go and see your child's classrooms and have all this. It will be so fun. Let's see here. Debbie says outside would be so fun, but nice to have the home option available for families out of state to see too. I agree wholeheartedly, and that's why I think Yvonne's suggestion is the best of all worlds. It's premiering on YouTube. You can watch it there, or you can watch it here with your Grace Christian School family, and then families and relatives outside the state can also watch it. So Kimberly says, yummy, yummy tacos. Good morning, Kimberly. Good to see you. Yes, and those are some amazing tacos. I always enjoy getting tacos from a Taco Man, and there will be a variety that you can pick from. You can hear the kids walking by right now. Morning chapel just let out for the elementary, and they're heading back to class. Sandy Newfield says, I think both would be great. Yes, I agree with you on that. But open house, I hope you have your calendars marked for May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Taco Man, great evening to see everybody and see your kids' classrooms and celebrate all that. So I look forward to seeing you all here for Cinco de Mayo. Yesterday, we did not have the Weekly Roundup. It was preempted for an amazing reason. It was induction for National Junior Honor Society for some of our students in junior high. The National Junior Honor Society is an amazing organization that we have here on campus. It's ran by Mrs. Narigian, and I got to tell you, she's probably one of the best National Junior Honor Society advisors in the United States, in our country. And I don't say that because she works here at Grace. I say that because of the results that she does. She is amazing with everything. Let me tell you some of the things our National Junior Honor Society has done over the years. They have provided Thanksgiving baskets in LA. They have provided little libraries at police stations. They've provided library books for homeless kids. They've cleaned Seal Beach. They've done beach cleanups. They've made cookies for McDonald's Land House. They've made blankets for pets. They've volunteered at children's shelters. They have done Christmas gifts. They've done Easter baskets. They celebrate staff over different times. They celebrate staff's birthdays. This group is so engaged. They learn leadership. They learn responsibility. Here's their key chart. It's character, citizenship, leadership, service, and scholarship. They do all of those things. And it's not just because I got good grades, I got into National Junior Honor Society. There is an application process they go through. We start to tell them about this in 5th grade. They need to do things. Let's see, Debbie says that Miss Norigian does such an amazing job. She does. Every school needs a Mrs. Norigian that oversees us. It would change the whole dynamics of our country if you had societies like this in every school across the nation, because the skills that she teaches these students are out of this world. All of the National Junior Honor Society students I talk with, I have the opportunity to work with when we go out and do these things off campus, are just amazing. Yesterday we inducted 12 new students. Before they get to that point, they have to fill out an application, they have to get references, they have to go through an oral interview with staff members on campus, and they go through the application, they look, and they pick the best of the best to be a National Junior Honor Society. So if you are the parent of a 4th grader or a 5th grader, it's not just academics. Those are important, but it's also service. Make sure your child is doing things for others, serving at church, helping in children's group, doing things with Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, doing things for other people without an expectation of something in return. Those are some big things that we see make the difference in the application process. There are some students who come in with perfect 4.0s, but they are not well-rounded. They don't have any of these other attributes associated with them, and they do not make it the first semester. They go out, do that, they come back and apply the second semester, and then they get in. So we average about 20 to 35 junior hires in National Junior Honor Society, and they do a wonderful job. I encourage you to talk to your students about wanting to be in National Junior Honor Society. I've talked to some of the advisors and some students at the high school level when they go on to the main Honor Society. We do way more than they do. All they do is fill out a form that they did their service hours, and they have to pay their dues, and they get to be in National Junior, or they get to be in Honor Society again. Congratulations, Sandy says, to the new inductees. Yes, couldn't thank them enough for all the things that they have done. Mrs. Norigian, you continue to do a great job. And to all the parents who came yesterday for the induction ceremony, thank you so much. It was so great to see you supporting not only your children, but others. We had parents there of kids who weren't even being inducted, whose children are in the National Junior Honor Society, coming to show support. And that really warmed my heart, so thank you. Hey, guess what? We talked about the Texas two-step. The Texas two-step was for Camp Oasis. You had to register, and then Mrs. Gasser would go in, approve the registration, and then you would get the form. Now we're going to have the daily double for the news flash. What does that mean? The April news flash will be a combination of March and April. Things to come and things that took place in March. It will come out on the first Monday in April. So look for that in your email. Look for it on our website at gcsrr.org. And it is going to be jam-packed. Also, hidden on the news flash in 2 places, there are going to be the Sheriff P Weekly Roundup logo. It's going to be hidden somewhere. There's going to be 2 of them. And for the first 10 people that can email me at roundup@gcsrr.org where those Sheriff P logos are, I will provide a gift card. Haven't figured out where yet. If it's parents, it'll probably be a Starbucks gift card. If it's a kids, it might be a Baskin-Robbins. It's something I'm working out, so I really haven't got the details of that. But I just want you to start preparing that when that comes out, you're going to be looking for the Sheriff P Weekly Roundup logo in 2 places. It's going to be hidden somewhere, and it'll really get you to scour that news flash to be able to find it. So the Daily Double will be the news flash coming out with 2 parts in April on the first Monday. School spirit, here we do. Yes, we do. So school spirit is something that we do not lack here at this school in any way. One of the big things we're really starting to focus on is campus pride. Taking pride in everything on our campus, making sure we're clean, we look good, we feel good. You know, one of the biggest things that when my kids were growing up, I taught them to make their bed. And Admiral McCann, I can't remember Admiral's last name, but he talked about this when he talked at the University of Texas about the reason the military really focuses on you making your bed every morning is so that you've had an accomplishment of the first task of the day. No matter what happens the rest of the day, you've accomplished a task and you know you're going to come home to a freshly made bed. Well, that's important that you come into a classroom that's extremely clean the next morning. So we have a great facilities team. Mr. Jeff and Mr. Rory always do a great job of keeping it clean. Well, we're going to create a spirit ward where our students are going to be judged on their classrooms, how well they keep them clean and organized. We have vacuums in the classrooms, and we're going to be going through and we're going to be providing a spirit award once a week on which classroom is the most well kept. And we're also going to be teaching the kids a great skill in 4th grade through 8th, how to operate a vacuum cleaner in their classroom. I remember when I was a student, one of the big things that was a job in the class was getting to go out and pound the erasers and put them in and then clean the chalkboards every day. Well, technology has basically eliminated that job even for students. So we're going to be doing vacuuming, where you get to be the vacuum monitor to vacuum in your classroom. And we're excited about that. That's going to free up a little bit of time for our facilities team to continue to work on other things on the campus. It's going to build character, and it's also going to help us do the School Spirit Award that we're going to be giving. Debbie, love it. Yes, absolutely. If you have a child in 4th grade through 8th grade, at the end of next week, they will know how to operate a vacuum cleaner and not just run over big stuff. And it'll be a sense of pride in their classroom. And I remember as a kid, like I told you, doing the eraser stomping. And also, we had the opportunity to work in the kitchen. If we were a 6th grader, we could help on the service line in the kitchen. And we got free lunch for the week. So, my parents were always saying, hey, volunteer for that, volunteer for that. Help prevent my mom from having to cook lunches or bag lunches for me. And I got a free lunch for the week. So, it's really good. Those things, I think, build character, and they really help kids. I know there's a lot of other schools that do that in Japan that really see a difference in the pride the kids take in their campus when they're responsible for part of the cleanup. So that's something. Next thing I want to talk to you about is something we've talked about a few different times, and I've been asked by many of you to go over it one more time and provide you a little additional information. So SB 871, what exactly is that? It's the Senate Bill 871 is hoping to require the COVID vaccine for every single student, and they're looking at possibly from 5 up to be required to take the vaccine in order to attend any school in the state of California. I'm not sure where your beliefs are on vaccines. It's just that this is taking a choice away from you for a medical procedure that isn't fully proven yet. I know many of you have sent me the articles. A couple of our family members who are doctors here in Switzerland, they just did a big, huge study at one of the universities there that found that the Pfizer vaccine gets into the liver and it does create a DNA that the CDC said would not happen, Pfizer said would not happen, but they're finding a lot of things they said weren't going to happen are starting to happen. So until that's 100% safe and ironed out, if you oppose that, you need to oppose 871, because that would mean your child would not be allowed in a parochial school, a Christian school, a private school, a charter school, or a public school, and in 5 and up, and they might even adjust that to try to be 12. But as you can see here, it's for kindergartners 12 K through 12, so it would be very restrictive, and they would be eliminating all exemptions, whether it be religious or medical, to have the vaccine. So if you want to oppose that bill, I'll give you some more information. SB 866, this one is extremely scary. This would allow the vaccination of minors without the approval of parents, and that is extremely scary. What that means is as long as there's a licensed medical professional, that could be a school nurse, says, hey, you know what, Johnny, you're 12 years old, I really think you could use this COVID vaccine, you get the vaccine. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the COVID vaccine. It could be any other vaccine that comes out, and we know there's been some issues early on with different vaccines that, hey, we'll give you a couple slices of pizza if you get this vaccine. You have no rights as a parent to refuse that, and your child could be coerced or manipulated into taking that vaccine. As I've said, I'm not opposed to the vaccine or for the vaccine. I'm just for your parent rights. And this would be taking away your parent rights immediately. And this is an extremely slippery slope because it could easily turn into other medical procedures. If they have the law in the books, it doesn't take much to add something else to the law, or what could be added to this as it continues to go through the Senate and the Assembly. And you know for sure, if this passes the Senate, it's going to pass the Assembly, and the governor has already indicated he would be signing that. And the final one that should be of concern to all of you is Assembly Bill 1993, and that would be employer COVID-19 vaccine requirements. That means any employer in the state of California, whether you're a private school, you're a contractor, you own a printing press, you run a church, you would be required to see the vaccination status of all of your employees before you could hire them. Even you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to run a landscaping business, but if you work for a company, say you were to do the landscape business for Joe's printing company, he would be required to see your vaccination status. As it shows right there, employers would be required to confirm that the state employee contractors are vaccinated or face undetermined penalties at this point. That is another extremely scary law. Now, I've been putting up here, find your representative to call. What I'm going to ask you to do is you need to call State Senator Josh Newman. There's his phone number, 714-525-2342, and let him know you oppose this bill. And also there's his email address, and there's Assemblywoman Sharon Quirk Silva's phone number, 714-525-6515. I ask you, when you call these individuals, to be polite, be respectful, and let them know your concerns about this. I'm also going to ask you to share this within your sphere of influence. If you are in a mom's group, if you're in a dad's group, if you golf, you need to share this with others, because once it passes, to get it repealed will take an act of Congress. Basically, it'll take an act of the Assembly, an act of the Senate, and the governor's signature. And that would be extremely tough. It's easier to prevent it now because you don't know what could be added to these bills as it goes along. Debbie says, is there a way that flyer could be emailed? Yes, there is. I will ask Christy to send that over to you right away. It is a concern. I know some of you have said, thank you so much for doing this, and I have always been hesitant about putting this on the Weekly Roundup, but it does seem an extremely important aspect to keep you informed as parents, because if any of these pass, you are going to lose rights, not only as a parent, but as an individual. If you are against vaccines, we've had some families actually leave our school this year and move to other states because the parents have been forced to get a vaccine that they don't agree with, and their employer will not accept a religious exemption or a personal exemption. So it's getting kind of scary, and the only way that's going to stop is by you getting involved right now. We see that voices do make a difference. We've seen that in other states throughout the nation as parents start to step up. So please, I ask. Amanda Blythe says getting a copy of the flyer would be great and helpful. So thankful for your sharing. You bet. I will send that out as an email to everybody, and Christy will get that out. I know she's watching, so she'll start to prepare that, and we should have that email out later today. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is security gates. The security gates and the gates prior to COVID, us ever knowing about COVID and us focusing for 2 weeks to flatten the curve, we've had security here at Grace Christian School. And what that security looked like before COVID was, we loved having parents on campus in the morning. It's been great recently to see parents on campus in the morning. Had the opportunity to visit with them, share a cup of coffee. Speaking of, right here, we have some really good brew lately out there on the Roadrunner brew cart. Getting that opportunity in the morning to shake hands with you, have you watch your child go to class and all that, that has been wonderful. So even before COVID, parents were not allowed on campus after school. Teachers would walk their students out to car line or to daycare, and the gates would shut behind them. This is a security reason, and the reason for that is we have kids who are still on campus for daycare, and it helps us control who is supposed to be on campus and who isn't. So parents, after school, you are not allowed on campus for any reason unless you are with a staff member or you're going to a meeting. Now you may say, hey, I saw this parent walk back and forth. That's because preschool parents have to sign their child out at the point of classroom and then come out. So those will be the only parents you'll be seeing going back and forth. Please help us follow this rule. It keeps all of our students safe. And another friendly reminder for all of you is if you are on campus, whether it be in the morning or after school, and you see a room open, I ask that you don't go into any buildings unless you're accompanied by a staff member or unless there's a staff member there. I say this for your safety, and I say this for the safety of our students. It keeps you above reproach. In case something were to happen to a student, you wouldn't have be involved. In case something came up missing or anything, I really ask that you kind of focus on that. And it just helps us keep our kids safe here on campus. So after school, you sign out your kids at the gate. They radio for them from daycare. Before school, love having you on campus to visit and shake hands and everything like that. If you need somebody, a staff member after school, you can go to the office and they can arrange for that teacher to come up and get you or arrange for you to be able to go to the classroom. So we love having you here. There's a fine line of having you on campus and keeping our kids safe. We deal with a lot of different issues here over the course of a week or a year, and our goal is to keep your children safe when they're in our custody. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is kind of funny, and I'm going to leave the security update here for a second as I talk. Marketers are getting more and more savvy when they market to adults. They're making them in kid-friendly type things. There's all different types of things that are designed for adults only, but they're marketing them in fun ways that kids find very intriguing. And one of those is adult beverages. Recently, adult beverages have been starting to be marketed in containers that look kid-friendly. And I want to make you aware of this. So the reason I want to make you aware of it is even after you may, now this is not to judge any parent, what you do at home is up to you. But if you have one of these adult beverages and after you've used it, your kids think, hey, this is really cool, I want to drink water out of it or something like that. I ask if they're doing that, it needs to stay at home and not be brought to school. There's a number of reasons. Number one, it makes it hard for staff to delineate if that is a real illegal substance inside of there for a child. Is it a dangerous substance? And it's better that these things don't promote that with children here at school. So if you have these fun containers at home, remind your kids they have to stay at home after they're empty. And some of you are probably rolling out of your chairs. You can't believe Sheriff P is actually talking about this. I blocked the name of what those things are out so that I'm not promoting them or advertising them. But I just ask that you do that for us here at school. You know, there's this teacher at open house, and I want to share the story with you, and it kind of goes with this whole thing, is the teacher said, you know what, parents, I just ask you one thing. Please do not believe everything your kids say when they come home from class every day about what happens in class. And if you do that for me, I will not believe everything your kids say that happens in your home every day when they come and share in the morning. I thought that was the most hilarious thing. And we do hear some crazy stories all the time from kids about what goes on at home. But I'm just asking on these adult beverage containers or anything else that is adult-centered, if you can make sure the kids keep that at home and not bring it to school. It really helps the whole community here at Grace Christian Schools. So on a lighter note, wow, this has been a 34-minute weekly roundup. We've had a great week. A lot of amazing things have been going on. Debbie is laughing. I'm sure there are other parents just like, what is he talking about? And people that might be listening to this as a podcast are actually going to watch this part of the video to see what I have up there on the screen. We have 62 people watching right now, so or listening. I think it'll be kind of funny. But a lot going on here at Grace. We got Race for Grace coming up on March 11th. We had the talent show. We had National Junior Honor Society induction. We have Cinco de Mayo coming for open house. And guess what? The school year is going to be rapidly coming to an end. Yes, kids don't need to pretend to be adults. It happens fast enough. I could not say that any better. You are absolutely correct. Be a kid as long as you can be a kid, because when you become an adult, you still want to be a kid, and it's too late. But good things happening here at Grace. I can't thank you enough for tuning in, for showing your support of the staff and everything. We consider it an honor. I know I tell you this every week, to be able to partner with you to develop tomorrow's leaders, because I know the leaders of our country are enrolled right here at Grace Christian School, and they are going to make a noticeable difference in our country and the communities that they live. So parents, until I see you down the trail, I just ask that God continues to bless each and every one of your families. Thanks for tuning in for the Weekly Roundup. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Got a bit of 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 a